Your game night with Giesen's 0% Sauvignon Blanc, Rosé, Pinot Grigio, even Sparkling Brut. 0% alcohol, all the flavor, Giesen wines from New Zealand, making the 4 o'clock hour or any hour the perfect time.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin! Alley-oop to Wembanyama, and easily throws it down. Alley-oop to Wembanyama, perfect pass from Castle, and the lead is up to 3. Towns holding on to Wemby. Fox gets into the paint, puts up jumper, got it! De'Aaron Fox with a clutch bucket right there, and it's back to a 5-point game. Brunson's looked like they're going to lob it. Nope. Anunoby, corner 3, fires away. Shot's no good. And the Spurs win.
Now, I'll tell you what. The Knicks are officially now playing with fire. First off, welcome on in, folks. Russo and Rizzo. No Colin Russo today. Mike Rizzo, Elias Bustamante. Kyle gallivanting the countryside of Norway, stopping at every hostel, dancing, drinking, the whole 9 yards. But welcome on in. Listen, the Knicks are playing with fire. They had a golden opportunity last night. Now, I said yesterday, and I still stick by it. I don't think the Knicks are going to drop 2 at home. No team has ever been able to come back being down 0-2 after losing 2 home games, the first 2 games of an NBA Finals. I still stand by all that. But I am wondering if Ernie in West Palm Beach, who is a lifelong Knick fan, who said on this program yesterday that he would camp out on the Okeechobee Bridge if the Knicks lost the series. I wonder if there's some gamblers, bettors remorse there. But big picture, the Knicks are playing with fire. You lose the next game, oh, man. You lose the next game, and it's 2-2 back to San Antonio, playing with fire. It's a golden opportunity last night. The second half, really all Spurs, other than the late comeback by Brunson. The Knicks never really able to close the gap. You had the Brunson 3 that made it 111 to 108. But you heard the De'Aaron Fox bucket to really put the nail in the coffin in 115, 111. But if you're a Knicks fan out there, I got to hear from you today, 888-760-3776. I'm still standing by it. I don't think the Knicks will drop 2 at home. This is a team that won 13 games in a row in the playoffs, the second longest streak in NBA history. Mike Brown was, I think, uncharacteristically complaining about officiating. Now, 24 free throws to 8. You know, hey, all right. You can have a conversation there. Hey, let me say this. There was a favorable whistle in that game last night. Very favorable. But you got to give Victor Wembanyama credit. You got to give Steph Castle. I mean, how great was Steph Castle in that game last night? He's the reason that San Antonio was able to jump out to that third quarter lead. I mean, the Knicks in the second quarter scored 42 points. You thought heading into halftime, them with that 7-point lead, you're like, all right, they'll never look back from here. They got the home crowd. They're ready to go. Now, all that talk about the Knicks faltering under pressure at home, I don't think that was the story. You know, we talked a lot yesterday, and even with the Don of ESPN West Palm, Evan Cohen, we talked with Ev yesterday about the atmosphere at Madison Square Garden. You know, President 45 and 47 in the building. You know, with the craziness that comes to that, the watch parties being canceled, you know, and take the political stuff out of it. And listen, I got a rule, folks. You don't get political on Russo and Rizzo. But, you know, taking the political stuff out of it, I mean, a president was in the building. It's a lot of pressure. I didn't think the Knicks would falter because of that. The Knicks faltered because Victor Wembanyama and Steph Castle were fantastic in that third quarter. And listen, I can't take the Knicks serious when they score 20 points in the fourth quarter. They didn't score. They scored over 30 points in one quarter of play, and that was the second quarter. The Knicks beat themselves last night. I'll listen to Mike Brown and the favorable whistle. I'll listen to, hey, wasn't our night. Everything was rolling the Spurs way, but they're playing with fire. That was a golden opportunity to go up 3-0 and put your foot on the neck. That is the San Antonio Spurs. I thought Mitch Johnson had a good game last night, the head coach for San Antonio. I thought Dylan Harper off of the bench, even though he shot it horrifically from 3, I thought defensively and the way he facilitated the ball offensively was fantastic. And he pushed all the right buttons. He had a stinker of a game from Fox, but he arguably hit the most important shot late in the game to go up 5 after that big Jalen Brunson 3. But you look at this game, you look at the stat sheet, and the first thing you go is the free throw discrepancy, specifically in the second half. Elias Bustamante is our producer behind the glass at the City Place Studios, and he's got the clip of Mike Brown specifically complaining about the free throws. Not in the first half, though. To clarify, this is Knicks head coach Mike Brown complaining about the whistle in the second half.
First of all, I want to make sure I get something clear. Coach Mitch Johnson, Spurs, they won the game. They won the game tonight. They came and took the game. But I will say this: I never thought I'd be in the NBA Finals and see a team get 24 free throw attempts in the second half to another team's 8. And I don't think I complain much about officials or the fairness when it comes to the free throw attempts. San Antonio is a great team. They're a great team. Okay. It's gonna lower our odds big time. If we play game 4. And in the second half, they get 24 free throw attempts to our 8. And maybe we were fouling. But they fouled too.
There is a favorable whistle. Let's not misconstrue. Let's not think about it. There was a favorable whistle for San Antonio in that game. I personally do not think that is the reason they lost the game, though. They couldn't close that gap. They couldn't get over the hurdle of 5, 7, 10. God, it's the worst watch. It's an agonizing game. That was an agonizing game for a Knicks fan. You come so close, and then San Antonio always has a response for you. But Knicks fans, 888-760-3776. Are the Knicks playing with fire? Are the Knicks playing with fire? I think they are. I do. I still stand by what I said yesterday. They're not going to lose 2 at home. If they lose 2 at home, we got to have a serious conversation about them blowing the series. I would like to think this is a Knicks team that was just due. They were due to not maybe get a favorable whistle. They were due to have a bad game after winning 13 games in a row and 2 games on the road to start the NBA Finals. For a neutral like me, granted, I've hitched my wagon to New York because I'd like to see those fans get a title, those Knicks fans specifically. But I really think that they won 13 in a row before that. You like to think that they'd be able to figure out at home. Now, all the stars were there. The Chalamet, the Stillers. I love the atmosphere. I heard so much about how that place was going to be a morgue because every Knicks fan was going to be priced out by the $3,500, $3,500 to $5,000 ticket. That wasn't the case. That place was rocking. All right. Now, we're bringing in Ernie in West Palm. Ernie said yesterday on the radio that if the Spurs come back and beat the Knicks, he will camp out for 1 week on the Okeechobee Bridge. Ernie, welcome on into the program. Are you in panic mode? Do you have bettors and gamblers remorse? Where are you at today as the Knicks lost a close one last night in Madison Square Garden?
Thank you for taking my call. And no, I am not nervous. I kind of expected them to come to show some fight, to be honest. If they're a professional team, which they are, they would have coached. They were going to show grit. They were going to show fight, and they weren't going to lay down. So I was hoping for a sweep. Could have happened, maybe. Did the referees had a thing about it? I don't know. You're saying it didn't. I saw something different. I mean, that mugging in the middle of the floor of Brunson by Wemby, I don't know. That was really bad.
Ern, is Wemby a dirty player, Ernie?
Yes, because he's European. All European players are dirty. I don't care what they say. They're all dirty. They're all dirty. They play dirty in Europe, and that's a fact. Ask anybody. Ask Pat Bev. Pat Bev will be the first one to tell you that the European players are dirty players. They're very physical. They play with a lot of, a lot of grit. They make us, to be honest, they still play 90s NBA basketball over there.
Huh.
The rules have not affected over there. They're still playing rough. So, yes, he plays a little dirt in them, but that's the way it is. I hope the Knicks respond. I hope they know what to do, and because again, they let Castle, they let the bench, they let a lot of things. A lot of things had to happen yesterday for them to win, and it did. And if they didn't win by much, they won by 4. Then I think if it was our way, if Shamet could have gotten a couple of threes in, it could have turned our way. It was a close game, like you said, agonizing for a Knicks fan.
Yeah, Ern, are you worried about Game 4?
No. If anything, it's a gimme for them to win it. Now, if anything, I can guarantee this is a win.
So, Ern, so you're double downing, and you're guaranteeing a win. You're double downing.
I'm guaranteeing a Knick. I'm double downing on a Knick win on Game 4.
Now, will you actually pitch a tent on Okeechobee Bridge, Ernie, if the Knicks lose?
Sir, you say you're Italian. What do Italians do? We're people of our word, correct? Yes or no?
Correct, Ern.
Okay, so just like that, I'm a man of my word. If they lose this series and lose to the San Antonio Spurs, me, Ernesto Luciano, will be at the Okeechobee Bridge pitching a tent for a week, singing my sorrows in front of ESPN. And, I'm willing to do that if that happens, and I can't. I'll have fun with it.
Ern, I think we're gonna have to get some kind of permit. I don't know if we're just allowed to pitch a tent up on the side of the road, but listen, partner, I appreciate you calling the show as always. One of our great callers, Ernie in West Palm, appreciate him. Now, Elias, I want to bring you in here for this. Would you, let's put it, say you agreed to something like that, something crazy like Ernie agreed to. Would you actually follow through on it? If you said you would camp on the Okeechobee Bridge for a week straight, could you realistically pull that off?
Me personally wouldn't make that bet.
Well,
no.
All right.
I mean, but I think like if you make a bet, you have to follow through. You have to.
Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. And Ernie just doubled down and said, he's a Luciano and he's going to do it.
Then just bet something different. I don't know, shave an eyebrow or something like that.
No. Why do we have to do? Why is such? So our old producer here, Christian Cat, who now works for ESPN Milwaukee, miss you, C-Cat, if you're listening, partner. I know you don't work until about later on in the afternoon. Regardless, miss you, Christian. Like, we were trying to figure out a punishment for our pick segment, and he was so fixated on wrestling an alligator. I'm like, bro, I'm not wrestling an alligator. Can I just buy you dinner? Yeah. Like, why do I have to wrestle a gator? He goes, dude, his jaw's shut. It's taped shut. What the hell happens if that animal breaks through the tape? Just always with the extremes. Like, and you want to know what else is a waste of time? Stupid. The fantasy football punishments. I one time.
Well, you have to play for something.
You play for money. You play for Imperial Galactic Credits. Galactic Credits. I mean, come on. I saw a guy, my buddies, granted, I'm that guy. I'm in one fantasy league. And I disappoint a lot of people only being in one fantasy league. But a league that my friends are in, okay? They made a buddy of mine sit in a Waffle House for 24 hours. 24 hours my buddy sat in a Waffle House. I'm like, bro, you're a grown, you're a grown man sitting in a Waffle House for 24 hours because you lost some stupid game.
But you can eat.
I guess, how much can you eat?
Exactly.
I eat, I'm ready, and listen, a great establishment, all right, Waffle House. Grew up with them in Treasure Island, Florida on the other coast. All right, 888-760-3776. Maybe Carter could shed some light on poor Ernie in West Palm if, he loses that bet and he has to pitch a tent on the Okeechobee Bridge. Carter, welcome on into the show, partner. How are you? What do you got?
Yeah, Ernie's a good call. I would be a little more concerned than I think he is. I still think Knicks are probably going to win, but I mean, Mike, I don't know how bad you want the Knicks to win, but we got ourselves exactly what we needed last night. Won a bet, and we had the Spurs win. Now we got ourselves a little bit of a series. I think Knicks are still probably going to win this.
Now, Carter,
I think it comes down to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just said if they lose the next game, they are in real danger of losing the series. Would you agree?
I completely agree, and here's why I'd be a little more concerned than I think maybe Ernie's thinking is now you've got Wemby playing the way he should be playing. He's playing closer to the rim. He had a good game last night. If he comes out and plays the same way that he did on tomorrow night, I mean. Again, I'm still leaning Knicks, but I think they could be in trouble obviously if they lose next game. And I think a little bit of last night was just Knicks. You have three close games. You're kind of bound to lose one. I don't think the refs had that much to do with it. It was a little favorable towards the Knicks, but yeah, I'd be concerned a little bit.
Now, Carter, it's not the reason they lost the game, right? The whistle. That's my big takeaway on it. Was it a favorable whistle? I think we could agree on that, but ultimately, it wasn't the reason they lost the game. Agreed?
No, it wasn't. And if I really want to nitpick them, two of those foul shots were intentional foul. Not that it makes it any better. I'm just saying, it wasn't. I don't know. I didn't see anything that was game deciding calls. And the way I look at it is if it's not something right at the end of the game that decides it, then you have many other opportunities to win the game outside of the refs.
Yep.
Don't let them decide the game. Go win it yourself.
Appreciate the call, Carter. It's Carter in Atlanta joining Russo and Rizzo. 888-760-3776. Are the Knicks playing with fire? It's another simple question today for your callers. 888-760-3776. Last night, home court, first finals home game in New York since 1998. All of the theme, magic, and mojo with the Knicks going up 2-0 on the road. I don't think they had any business winning 2 games. I thought the Knicks played good enough to win 1 game on the road, but you really thought that was a golden opportunity for the Knicks to go up 3-0 and to really put the foot on the throat, put the boot on the throat, and take care of business. But you think once again the refereeing, the officiating, I don't think it was enough to really swindle the game like that. I just think they got outplayed. They got beat. That third quarter was a nightmare. That third quarter was rough, and then you follow it up. Now they played pretty good defense in the fourth. The Spurs only outscored them by about 3 points, but the issue is they put up 20 points. All right, we got Jason in Wellington, 888-760-3776. Jason, are the Knicks playing with fire, partner?
No, I don't think so. They had a bad game, and last time we saw what happened after the last loss that they had. They went on an amazing run, and I'm backing up Ernie here. I'm not going to sleep on the Okeechobee Bridge or whatever he's going to do. But Knicks are definitely going to win the series.
Now,
and yesterday, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead, partner. Go ahead.
Yesterday they didn't lose because of the refs. They lost because they shot 2 for 14 from 3-point range in the fourth quarter.
Now, do you have any, say the Knicks lose this series and the Spurs come back, do you have any tips for Ernie as he'll have to pitch a tent on the Okeechobee Bridge?
No, I don't have any tips. I'd have to stop by and see him, though.
No tips, Chase. Listen, brother, I'm a city slicker, as my family in Colorado used to call me. I don't do tents. I don't do camping. I don't like the bugs. I like AC and a bed. Have you ever been camping, Jace?
No. I'm in the same boat as you. No, yeah. I don't do tents.
Okay, and you, once again, for the record, you aren't worried about the Knicks. Do they win Game 4?
Yeah, I think they win Game 4. I actually think they win in 5, but we'll see what happens.
Thanks, Chase. Appreciate the call. 888-760-3776. I guess we'll throw Ernie in the conversation. Ernie in West Palm, our great caller and friend of show. Ernie came on the program yesterday and said he will be sleeping for a week on the Okeechobee Bridge in a tent if the Knicks lose the series.
That's crazy.
I just, I respect the fandom. Is that fair? I respect the fandom. I could never do it. A week?
I mean,
a week?
You could get very good deals on Marketplace for some tents and
don't we need a permit? We need a permit from the city to get Ernie. Listen, Father, Son, Holy Spirit, never homeless. You know what I mean? And I pray that the homeless situation gets figured out in this country. But I don't know what to think. I don't know what to think when it comes to that because I've never been in a situation like that, Elias.
Yeah.
Am I making sense here?
No, totally.
So, listen, 888-760-3776, that number. Are the Knicks playing with fire? Do you have any tips for Ernie if he does have to sleep in a tent? We're not quite there yet on the panic level. Elias, you remember yesterday, I said I did like the Knicks last night. I was dead wrong about that. I lost some credits with their good friends at Hard Rock Bet. But I did say I do not see the Knicks losing both games at home. And as Jason alluded to, the last time that they lost, they won by about a gazillion points. What was it? They were up 55, 50 points in that game against Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So I really do think that the Knicks will be able to figure it out. And the favorable whistle, woulda, coulda, shoulda, I don't think that plays a factor. But if you got to take on it, folks, 888-760-3776. Now, we're going to take a timeout. When we return, we're going to continue breaking down the basketball we saw last night with the Spurs.
Alley-oop to Wembanyama, and easily throws it down. Alley-oop to Wembanyama. Perfect pass from Castle. And a lead is up to 3. Towns holding on to Wemby. Fox gets into the paint, puts up jumper, got it! De'Aaron Fox with a clutch bucket right there. And it's back to a 5-point game. Brunson's looked like they're going to lob it. Nope. Anunoby, corner 3, fires away. Shot's no good. And the Spurs win.
And all the great stuff that happened there. I mean, we heard we heard Carter in Atlanta, and I agree with him. Wemby's got a swagger back. Wemby's got that look in his eye. And you look at the stat sheet, it's hard to argue that. That kid played lights out in a big situation in front of the president, in front of those New York fans. I still think the conversation about that being a dead atmosphere was a waste of time. But Wemby shut those fans up in a big way. 888-760-3776 to chime on in. When we come back, more NBA talk. Russo and Rizzo, ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Marlins fans, head to Lone Depot Park Friday, June 19th for a special South Florida Black Legacy celebration. Score a special ticket package that includes a game ticket to watch the Fightin' Fish take on the San Francisco Giants at 7:10, plus an exclusive jersey featuring the iconic number 42. Then stick around for Friday Night Live and enjoy live music at the Bullpen Bar and Grill. Don't miss it. It's going to be an unforgettable night at the ballpark. Get your tickets now at marlins.com/SFBL.
Business owners, are your employees driving you nuts? Is money tight? Or have you just poured your heart and soul into your business and now it's time to retire and just relax? At Transworld Business Advisors, they have buyers from all over the world ready to buy your business now. Call for a confidential conversation about your business's current value. 561-203-5121. That's 561-203-5121 or visit tworld.com today.
What's the Anajar and Levine difference? If you're the victim of a car crash, you will always speak to a lawyer. You'll always get the highest standard of care from our dedicated legal team, and we'll always fight to get you the maximum compensation you deserve. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Call our legal team right now for a free consultation. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733. Don't wait. Call 1-800-747-FREE. In office, West Palm Beach.
Okay, class, let's begin.
Psst, love your boots. I just sold a pair like that on eBay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it took like 2 seconds to list, and they sold almost immediately. I've been selling everything lately. Some chunky boots, a faux fur coat I never wore, and a vintage chair that was more of an expensive clothing rack.
You know, I actually bought these on eBay. Wait, are you Kitty Sell Stuff from Brooklyn?
Okay, quiet, please.
Find what you love, sell what you don't. eBay. Things people love.
This Father's Day, put the focus on Dad's happy place, his garage. Shop more ways to organize, more ways to build, and more ways to spend time together. With low prices guaranteed at the Home Depot. Get him a rolling toolbox or a wall-mounted organizer to keep it all in place. Or save on power tools like the Ryobi 2-tool driver drill combo kit for just $99. Make Father's Day about building something together with a little help from the Home Depot. Exclusions apply. See homedepot.com/price match for details.
The 4 o'clock hour of Russo and Rizzo is presented by Gießen 0% Wines. It's 4 o'clock somewhere, meaning it's always the perfect time for Gießen wines. Elevate your game night with Gießen's 0% Sauvignon Blanc, Rosé, Pinot Grigio, even Sparkling Brut. 0% alcohol, all the flavor, Gießen wines from New Zealand, making the 4 o'clock hour or any hour the perfect time.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Apparently, Knicks fans were fighting Spurs fans after the game last night. Listen, I understand it was a tough loss. All right, it's a golden opportunity to go up 3-0 in the series. But Knicks fan stilling on Spur fans wasn't on my bingo card last night. But, folks, say you get in a fight. I'm going to get you a cheap shot. Anajar and Levine or the attorneys are going to have your back. Folks, any accident, car accident, truck accident, slip and fall, our friends Mark Anajar and Glenn Levine, they will fight for you. They don't get paid unless you do. They will fight to get the maximum compensation that you deserve. Call Anajar and Levine for your free consultation. Don't settle for any lawyer. Demand Anajar and Levine. That's the Anajar and Levine difference. Takes one phone call to take back control of your life. 1-800-747-FREE. 1-800-747-3733. Take back control of your life with our good friends at Anajar and Levine. But yes, that was the story out of New York, is that Spur fans were getting their butt beat after the game. Now, listen, you've seen scuffles, you've seen fights in every sport and in every arena. But Knicks fan, I think, after that game was especially mad. And I think they were mad because of the execution of the Spurs late in that game. If you remember, rewind back to game 1 and 2, all hell broke loose for the Spurs. Wembanyama and company, go back to game 2. Wembanyama threw it off Steph Castle's head, turnover. Wembanyama gets a wide open look, misses it. Go ahead bucket. Wide open elbow jumper, a shot that Wemby has taken 15,000 times in his life, misses it. But last night, it was all good.
Alley-oop to Wembanyama, and easily throws it down. Alley-oop to Wembanyama, perfect pass from Castle. And a lead is up to 3. Towns holding on to Wemby. Fox gets into the paint, puts up jumper, got it! De'Aaron Fox with a clutch bucket right there. And it's back to a 5-point game. Brunson looked like they're going to lob it. Nope.
And listen,
away. Shot's no good. And the Spurs
you got to give credit to De'Aaron Fox, who had a rough game. For all intents and purposes, he had a stinker. I mean, 4 of 14 from the field before that big-time shot to go up 5 points, 113 to 108. I also thought Wemby spreading the floor. I mean, it's crazy how a 7'4", 7'5" player is sometimes better on the perimeter. Now, we talked to Evan Cohen. I've said multiple times already today. We talked to Ev yesterday, the godfather of the station. The friggin' studio is named after him. But Ev said, Riz, the Spurs are done unless Wemby goes down low. I thought you got a healthy mix of both last night. Wemby went to the free throw line 9 times, went 8 of 9, shot 50% from 3, and majority of his work was done in the paint. He was a +7 on the game, and in 40 minutes, he was by far the best player on the court. And he deserves credit. And I already gave flowers to Mitch Johnson, the head coach. I thought tactically they were brilliant. I thought, the pick and rolls, if it was with Fox, with Castle, but 23 points. Speaking more on Castle, Steph Castle last night, I managed to hear from my partner, who is gallivanting Norway right now, Colin Russo. He texted me, he goes, Riz, the Steph Castle game. And in that third quarter and in that second half, Castle really took charge. He took charge of the offense. He realized, I think, that De'Aaron Fox just didn't have his stuff. Fox, by the way, 0 for 5 from 3 on the night and 4 for 14 from the field. So I think Castle realized that, and he took control of the game. Man, this Spurs team is good, folks. Man, this Spurs team is good. Young, too. Champagne, Wembanyama, Vassell, Castle, Fox. All these guys are under the age of 25, with the exception of De'Aaron Fox, who's still 28 in the prime of his career. I mean, and Steph Castle is 2 years separated from UConn. He's 21. Vassell from Florida State, 25. Wemby, 22. Champagne, 24. I mean, these guys, they're in their second and third years. 30 in the finals. Now we Leo in Wellington, 888-760-3776. Leo, mate, you're on Russo and Rizzo. How you doing, brother? What do you got?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. I just say that next Game 4 is going to be a must-win for the Knicks, probably more than the Spurs. I know it'll put the Knicks up 3-1 if they win, but I think that they might have woken up a sleeping giant last night. I wanted the Knicks to win. I want the Knicks to win the series still, but I fear that they might have woken up a sleeping giant in Wemby and just kind of took the pressure off the Spurs a little bit. And we'll see how it goes in Game 4. But, I mean, to come into New York in that type of energy and win in a close game late, I think shows a lot about the Spurs' ability to really, when their backs are against the wall, to really take it on. And Wemby is a true MVP that can go inside, outside, play defense, all that, and really show up in the big time. So I was really impressed by that. And I just got to say, Rizzo, you got to try camping sometime, bro. Like, you got to try camping. It's so much fun when you get out there, get away from it all, and kind of recharge. You get you some geesing out there, man. You'll have a good time. Make a fire. It'll be great. Make a fire, chill by the fire, roast the marshmallows. Fun, man.
And Leo, listen, we love our friends over at Geese and 0%. But Leo is obviously referring to our good buddy Ernesto in West Palm, diehard Knicks fan, talking about how if the Knicks blow an 0-2 lead, he will be camping on the Okeechobee Bridge for 1 week. All right, Leo, a couple of things here, partner, on the camping stuff. Do I get an RV with air conditioning?
You got to try at least once you can get a tent with all the accoutrements, like with a nice plush air mattress. Get your
It's hot, brother. Or excuse me, Leo, brother, it's hot down here, mate. I mean, it's 90 degrees with the clouds up.
You gotta go when it's like winter time, when there's a cold front coming in, just so you won't have to deal with mosquitoes and such.
Yeah.
But definitely, I recommend with the fire. You know, there's plenty of campsites around here, and it's definitely worth it for the weekend. You could either camp with the boys or bring like a special friend. You know what I mean?
Bring some ladies.
Nice
Bring some ladies, Leo.
Yeah, don't pull a Russo and go with 22s, but yeah, bring some ladies.
Now, last thing, Leo, is Ernie in West Palm in trouble?
I mean, I was biting my nails last night. I'm nervous for the Knicks because I really want them to win just because I really like the way Jalen Brunson plays and everything like that, and I like the heart, no pun intended, that Josh Hart plays with. But I just worry that, they woke up a sleeping giant with the Spurs. So, Ernie's definitely sweating. He's definitely sweating it right now.
I'll tell you what, he's going to be sweating if he's on that bridge for a week. Leo, I appreciate the call, mate. We'll check in with you later, okay?
All right, thanks.
That was, Leo. I keep on calling him Ernie. Leo, love you, brother. I got Ernie on the mind. Brother, Elias, I am worried about Ernie. I am tremendously worried about Ernie if he's going to have to camp. I'm going to, bring him groceries every day.
What do you think, the Knicks are going to, honestly,
Dude, if they lose, all right. I'm such a phony for this. I'm a disgrace, as we say in world football standards.
Isn't it supposed to be Knicks on 6?
I can't wait for the World Cup, by the way. I'm, so ready for it. Anyway, if they lose Game 4, I think the Spurs win. Because I said at 0-2, it's over. No team has ever come back from being down 0-2 after losing the first 2 games at home. All right? Obviously, LeBron James, 2016, one of the greatest teams of all time, they came back being down 0-2, but they lost on the road. In the history of the league, there has never been a team that has lost their first 2 games at home and won the NBA Finals. If that's why I said this is over. I didn't think the Knicks would lose 2 games in a row in New York in front of those crazy fans, loyal fans who we like on this show, by the way. Listen, even though I'm a Cleveland guy, you New Yorkers, I love you. 888-760-3776. We want to hear from you, all right? But at the same time, if they lose that game, Elias, I worry. I worry for Spurs. I worry for Knick fan. If the Spurs overcome a 0-2 deficit and it's 2-2 back to San Antonio, and remember the last time we were in San Antonio, Victor Wembanyama had a game-winning bucket. If he makes that, it's 2-1 Spurs right now. If Wemby made that shot, this is a completely different conversation. So yes, you Knick fan, you should be very, very worried. You are playing with fire. And that was the opening question that I asked, 888-760-3776. Are the Knicks playing with fire? Golden opportunity last night. That game was winnable. Mate, that game was beyond winnable last night. You have 7 points at half. You capitulated in the second quarter. Or in the third quarter. That was one of the, and then in the fourth quarter, you followed it up by scoring 20 points. There were 42 points in the second quarter, and we never saw that form for the rest of the game. So if you're a Knick fan and you're looking at, as we call him, the alien, Victor Wembanyama, I would be worried. Now, Elias, I mentioned it at the beginning of the segment. I mean, Knick fans fighting Spur fans? Is that Bush League or what? I mean, listen.
That's that.
Knick fan, I love you. All right? And you got to, listen, the Spur fan, they're not like you New Yorkers, all right? You're a rambunctious type. I get it. Trust me. Being a Sicilian-American brother, I understand it. You're all fired up after the game. You're talking to a Cleveland fan, a miserable Cleveland fan, and a Manchester United fan that hasn't seen anything in 13 years. I get it. We're upset. We get upset. But fighting? No, come on.
That's the pressure.
Come on. Now, Elias, you're saying it's pressure?
I mean, I think the fans are like, how many years haven't they won
1973.
90?
It's been a long time, Elias. Been a long time for the New York Knicks.
You think they're gonna?
The great Walt Frazier. My dad was 12 and my mother was 13. They're 65, Elias.
Yeah, maybe, some nervousness here and there. Probably, yeah, that's what's going to happen with the Knicks. I don't think they're going to lose in a row, but at the same time, I mean, they had to lose at one time, They had to lose. Now the thing is how they bounce back.
Jason on the YouTube chat says, even if the road team wins all the road games, the Knicks would win in 7. The Knicks are good. Where the hell is home court in this series, by the way? Why do we actually, who am I kidding? NBA teams don't try in the regular season. That's the issue with the league right now. Elias, us as world football fans, we think it's a disgrace. But, like, you fight tooth and nail. Respectable teams fight tooth and nail in the regular season for home court, and no home team has won. I might have to look it up in the break. This might be, I could be wrong here, but this might be the first NBA Finals where the road teams have won 3 games in a row. Like, historically, go back to the Cavalier and Warrior rivalry. For years, it was always the home teams, with the exception of Kevin Durant going to that team and ruining the league, all right? Even, like, the Kobe and Shaq years, too, when it's like, what the hell is going on with home court advantage? Is it even a thing in this league anymore? The great Phil Jackson, the coach of Michael Jordan, folks, for the novice sports fans out there, the great Phil Jackson once said, we like road games better, or rather, I like road games better, meaning Phil does, because it's his guys versus the world. It's a sense of you don't have to worry about family being there, the home crowd being let down, whatever. He liked playing on the road. Could there be something to that? You heard Greeny and Wilbon talk about it on Get Up. We played the sound yesterday. Could there be something to that? I would like to think the Knicks respond. If they don't, if they lose game 4, you're in trouble. 888-760-3776. Are the Knicks playing with fire? We got the World Cup right around the corner, folks. We got baseball in full swing. Got the puck tonight. Where are the puck fans at? Where are the hockey fans at? My goodness, that was one of the best hockey games I've ever seen in my life with the overtime. But it is the perfect time. All that said, with all this great stuff going on, you got the World's game coming here to South Florida with the World Cup. You got MLB in full swing, NBA Finals, NHL, Stanley Cup. Download the Hard Rock Bet app today and get involved on all of it. Later on in the program, I am going to put Elias on the spot. We are going to pick group winners today. Technically, it probably should be tomorrow, but I'm itching. I'm itching for some football, world football, that is. And we're going to be picking group winners. And it's not going to be based on, who's got the best odds, who we think is actually going to win the group. And I'm going to do that with Hard Rock Bet on the Hard Rock Bet app. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to that Discover tab, and I'm going to type World Cup 2026, and I'm going to hit that. And, folks, you wouldn't believe the amount of props, bets, futures that are on the app with the World Cup. No better time to get involved. That's our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus, physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. If you're a friend of concerned about big gambling, please call 1-833-PLAY-WISE. That is 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Folks, we are still taking your call. 888-760-3776. Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Since 2006, EDS Air Conditioning has kept Palm Beach County comfortable through every summer, every storm, and every season in between. EDS Air Conditioning is a trained comfort specialist. It's hard to stop a train. From dial thermostats to today's smart home systems, EDS delivers reliable comfort you can count on. With over 800 Google reviews and a 4.8 star rating, they've earned your trust. 20 years of keeping Palm Beach cool. Visit EDSisyes.com today.
Yep, he's planning another project. So, this Father's Day at Lowe's, tap into free gifts for Dad.
Get a free Select Craftsman power tool when you buy a Craftsman V20 charger with 2 amp-hour and 4 amp-hour batteries. Plus, get a free DeWalt power tool when you buy a Select 20-volt Max XR 4 amp-hour battery kit. Dad knows our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 7/14 while supplies last. Selection varies by location.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/play. That's ethos.com/play. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Looking for the best pizza in Palm Beach County or the perfect spot to catch the big game with friends? Then head to Adrian's Pizza Bar at City Place in West Palm Beach. Enjoy handcrafted cocktails and Adrian's world-famous original square pizza, straight from Stone Street, Manhattan. From game day gatherings to late-night bites, Adrian's is the place everyone's talking about. Open daily from 11:30 a.m. to midnight. And don't miss the best happy hour in town. Twice daily from 11:30 to 6 p.m. and again from 10 p.m. till close. Adrian's Pizza Bar at City Place, bringing the legendary flavors of Stone Street, Manhattan to West Palm Beach.
Ugh, water spots on the shower door again.
He sprayed, he scrubbed, he squeegeed.
What? Is that a word?
He's tried pretending not to see it.
Didn't work.
Now he wants answers.
I'm calling Culligan. They'll test my water for free and recommend a solution to fix hard water throughout the whole house.
Because some battles shouldn't be fought alone.
Schedule your free water test today at Culligan.com, serving all of South Florida.
Hey, Culligan man!
The 4 o'clock hour of Russo and Rizzo is presented by Gießen 0% Wines. It's 4 o'clock somewhere, meaning it's always the perfect time for Gießen wines. Elevate your game night with Gießen's 0% Sauvignon Blanc, Rosé, Pinot Grigio, even Sparkling Brut. 0% alcohol, all the flavor, Gießen wines from New Zealand, making the 4 o'clock hour or any hour the perfect time.
She ain't gonna tie me down. Why you on the road? Got it on the shirt, saw the hat, saw the...
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
F45 training is not just about working out. You show up, you get a sweat on, you leave. But really, if you're looking to take that next step in your fitness journey, F45 West Palm Beach is the place for you. Stronger, faster, more conditioned. F45 stands for Functional 45. It's a 45-minute high-intensity team training session that's designed to build strength, burn fat, and improve performance. The best part, it's not monotonous. It's a different workout every single day. You're walking into a gym, you walk into a like-minded fitness community. You're walking into a team environment with experienced coaches that push you, correct form, but keep the energy high. You walk in, you see a bunch of other like-minded fitness individuals listening to the loud music, having a grand old time, wanting to get a sweat in. You can turn your brain off, follow along in the exercises on screen, and in 45 minutes, it is over. Right now, get your first 3 classes for just $30. That's your first 3 classes for $30 at F45 West Palm Beach. Go check them out today, F45.com/West Palm Beach, F45 West Palm Beach. Team training, life-changing.
And folks, that F45, it's literally right down the street from the station. They do great stuff, and even to the point of I'm part of a run club with F45. It's a lot of fun. I'm a big runner. Love running. I try to run a 5K 4 or 5 days a week as long as my 30-year-old knee will let me. But to Colin's point, great stuff going on at F45. Go check them out. Now, folks, we're inching the end of the 4 o'clock hour presented by Gießen 0%, changing the game for me, being almost 5 years sober. Listen, I still think there's a lot to unpack with the NBA Finals, specifically with how the reactions, rather plural, of the Spurs and the Knicks, how both teams are going to react after, I think, the first jab by the Spurs. There's an old saying, a series doesn't start until the first road team wins. Well, in this case, a series doesn't start until a home team wins. I am still flabbergasted, bamboozled, fumbling over my words that a home team has yet to win. I mean, you go back to this.
4 seconds. Fox to Wembanyama. Pulls up. Jumper. Won't go. Rebound taken by Vassell. It's over. It's over. The Knicks survive. This magic carpet ride continues. 13 straight victories, and they lead 2-0 here in these NBA Finals.
And then just a complete flip of script. Wemby got to, the Empire State. New York, New York, New York.
Alley-oop to Wembanyama, and easily throws it down. Alley-oop to Wembanyama. Perfect pass from Castle. And the lead is up to 3. Towns holding on to Wemby. Fox gets into the paint, puts up jumper, got it! De'Aaron Fox with a clutch bucket right there. And it's back to a 5-point game. Brunson looked like he's going to lob it. Nope, Anunoby.
And yeah,
it's away. Shot's no good.
A somber Mike Breen. Now listen, I love Mike Breen. Breen is the play-by-play announcer for the Knicks. I have so many people that text me go, God, Mike Breen, he's so for the Knicks. I go, guys, he's the play-by-play announcer for the team. Like, if there's someone I understand who actually would have a rooting interest, I have no problem with Mikey B and that. But just the difference of the end of the game call, the difference of, the magic carpet ride for the Knicks, and then the somber, and the Knicks dropped game 3. Like, my buddies had a real issue with that last night. I'm like, guys, you got to realize he's a Knick guy. He's a Knick guy. But 888-760-3776, that's the number to call on in. We actually are going to go to the hotline coming up at 5 o'clock. We're going to welcome on in Steve Politziner, the Good Karma Brands president, into the show. Steve Politziner, also the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. It's been a big week of, I think, sports down here in Palm Beach. I was at the England football training today. I saw Harry Kane, as I call him, Kaiser Kane. I saw Thomas Tuchel, who, I spoke to a couple of English fans. They're not high on Thomas Tuchel. And Elias Bustamante, who, like me, is in the know on this stuff. It takes a lot to, I think, Elias, get an English fan to get behind anything.
Oh, 100%.
I mean, Southgate was one of them, and they condemned that man to hell. They couldn't wait for Garrett Southgate to get rid of the reins there over at the England training camp.
Yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, Southgate got in with no expectations. People were not convinced, but I think he just gave them an identity,
Yeah.
Like, he saved them. He brought them back. So
Elias,
I understand that with Tuchel.
To that point, they were, England, by the way, runners-up in the Euros the last 2. That stings. That stinks. But that Spain team was fantastic in the most recent one. Yamal and Nico Williams off the corner. Regardless. And then the recent World Cup in Qatar, they lost to France in the quarters. And then in 2018, they were one of the Final 4. They were one of the 4 teams. They're close. Yeah. They've been knocking on the door. Mm-hmm. That's why when the Southgate stuff kept popping up, as a United States men's national team fan, I'm sitting here going, my God, different strokes for different folks. Now, England created the game. There's the old saying, it's coming home. It's coming home. 1966, Elias, that's pretty crazy. With the amount of great teams that England has had over the years, the fact that those lads over across the pond haven't won since 66 is crazy. For the record, I am not one of those Americans that condemns the England national team. I actually really like the 3 Lions, man. I like their players. I like the swagger of the team. I think the kits are clean. I love the Premier League. To be honest, Elias, I find myself rooting for them more often than not.
I get it. It's either USA or England because Italy's not in the World Cup.
All right, that's a low blow.
No, but I'm just saying.
That's a low blow.
But it makes sense, though. So you're saying also, the England, the team, probably is, could you call them the Knicks of national football?
The Knicks?
Yeah, they haven't won a championship in years. They always
they're better, but
they're very close.
God, they're better than the Knicks. You know what I mean, Elias? The Knicks, outside of the last 4 years, they were irrelevant. My God, ask a Knicks fan about the Stephon Marbury years and the Langston Galloway years and even the Carmelo years. God, I love Carmelo. For the record, folks, I love Carmelo Anthony. Those powder blue jerseys, the powder blue shiny jerseys that Denver wore. When the NBA, Elias, had a young LeBron in Cleveland, a young Wade in Miami, a young Carmelo Anthony in Denver, a young Chris Bosh in Toronto, a grizzled veteran in Kobe Bryant winning championships in purple and gold. The Celtics becoming an entity and the first super team of the turn of the century in the 2000s outside of Kobe and Shaq. It was just a different league. You know, it was a different league, but I did listen to me waxing poetically about Melo. To get back on track with England, I think this could be the year. It could. Tuchel is a championship-level gaffer.
Yep.
That's what England fans forget. Tuchel did it in England. Was it at the club level? Yes. Did they have an American and pulley goat? Yes. That's the only reason they won. I'm kidding. You get it. Like, Elias, he is a caliber coach that can do it.
I get it. And I know they were complaining about the team, that it was a weird team, but it's basically that. It's a team. They don't have a lot of stars, but that's a team.
Yeah.
So probably that's what he's going for.
Now, folks, I got to take a time out. I got the Good Karma Brands president and the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer, Steve Politziner, coming onto the program. Quickly, Steve K. Comedy on YouTube goes, the England national team is to soccer with Notre Dame football is to college football. Long story history, not a lot of recent success, highest level. Steve hit the nail on the head there. That is, Stevie, I couldn't say it better than myself, partner, and I appreciate you chiming in. And for the record, we have extra time from 6 to 7 starting this Wednesday. It's going to be running Monday through Friday. It is our World Cup show here on ESPN 106.3. Myself and Damian Perez will be hosting. I am looking forward to that tremendously. We're taking a timeout. When we come back, the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer and Good Karma Brands president Steve Politziner will join on ESPN 106.3.
Mega Bash at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is the biggest 4th of July party in Jupiter. There's no better way to celebrate America's 250th birthday than enjoying 2 special baseball games on July 3rd and July 4th. Both games begin at 6 p.m., featuring the Mega Kids Inflatable Area and the biggest fireworks show of the season. Tickets start at just $8. Stop by the ticket office or visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com to purchase your Mega Bash tickets today.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $879 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Do you owe back taxes or have unfiled tax returns? The IRS won't quit until they get your money. Here's great news, fresh from those in the know. Major changes have happened at the IRS. If you owe more than $10,000, you may be eligible for a 99% reduction of what you owe. Haven't filed a return for a while? Their happy clients are talking.
The IRS was going to levy my bank account, but Guardian was able to prevent that and fix all my IRS issues. Thanks again, Guardian Tax.
Need relief from crushing tax debt? The IRS now has special programs. Guardian Tax knows all about them. Personal or business, this is the fresh new break you've been hoping for.
We aren't the company you call when you need a hug because you're scared of the IRS. Guardian Tax is the company that wins when you need it most.
Guardian Tax Service is really great to work with. They really helped me out. I'd recommend them highly.
Call now for a free confidential consultation. 800-505-3931. 800-505-3931. 800-505-3931.
Anajar and Levine.
Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
ESPN 106.3.
WESP Jupiter, a Good Karma Brands radio station.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Joseph Malloy, tax partner in Anshin's Construction Group.
The One Big Beautiful Bill Act, also known as the OBBBA, will have a significant impact on tax planning strategies. The bill restores and makes permanent 100% bonus depreciation for all eligible purchases made after January 19, 2025. This tax incentive will influence investments in additional machinery and equipment upgrades, providing an immediate tax deduction and helping contractors increase cash flow. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we strategically guide construction companies through the new tax law to help them develop the right strategy and enhance profitability. If you're a construction executive or owner looking to maximize tax savings, let Anshin deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000. Use code TRACK to borrow up to $10,000.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Now, it's time for a little R&R.
Colin to the bucket, lays it up and in.
Ball game, Rizzo! Live in the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios, this is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
This team is going to be tough when they finally get it together.
Sit back and relax. Let Russo and Rizzo take you home.
Oh, mercy! Light him up, Colin!
Hour number 2 of Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. Just myself today and Elias Bustamante, Colin Russo, gallivanting the Norwegian hills, dancing at every hostel he gets a chance to dance at. But now, folks, it is time to welcome an absolute legend at this station, a legend in Palm Beach County. It's the Palm Beach County Sports Commission Hall of Famer and our big boss, the president of Good Karma Brands, Steve Politziner, joining us now on the Russo and Rizzo hotline. Uncle Steve, man, I saw your Instagram story last night. I was envious of the view you had of the Knicks and the Spurs last night, sitting behind big shots like Stephen A. Smith and company. Partner, did you have fun at the game? Welcome on into the program.
Hey, Mike and Elias. Hey, guys. Yes, of course, great time. It's the NBA Finals. I mean, the energy in the building, and it was kind of an exhaustive effort yesterday. Like the way it went with the president being there, the extra security measures, the TSA-like warnings of ingress and egress, and it was different. It was definitely not like something I have experienced in that regard. But then once it was game time, it was game time. The stars were in the building. The Knicks, like people I was with were like, I forgot that the Knicks can lose. I mean, they hadn't lost since the NFL draft, which felt like months ago. So that part was very sobering for all the fans there. But the energy and the electricity of an NBA Finals game in the Garden definitely lived up.
Now, Steve, a lot of people were worried about the atmosphere, the kind of fan that was going to be at the game. A lot of people were speculating that they were going to be priced out of tickets. Partner, you were in the building. How were the decimal levels from the fans last night?
Massive. Because you're right. The numbers were insane. I mean, at one point they were over $8,000 for a get-in ticket. It dropped considerably, and I think there was a few reasons. Right, a lot of times these things get held up till late, and I also know that the Knicks put the tickets on sale much later, probably to control a little bit from a pricing standpoint, and then also I think all of the security measures probably were a turnoff to a lot of people and just not getting caught up in all of it. But those were fans buying those tickets. Those were fans saying, "I've saved up my life. This is if I'm doing anything, I'm going to a Knicks game." So it was what the Garden is. I think if you've never been, it's a bucket list type of thing to see a basketball game, whether you're a Knicks fan or a fan of the visiting team or just are in town. The organ, the chanting, the acoustics are so set up there for fans to feel like they're in the game. I mean, you hear it, the dun, dun, defense at a Knicks game is really incomparable to anything else that you've experienced.
Uncle Steve Palazziner, the Good Karma Brands president and the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer, joining us now on Russo and Rizzo. Uncle Steve, I got to ask you the question I've been asking the listeners who've been calling in. Are the Knicks playing with fire? It seemed last night that game was very winnable. I mean, you were there in person the entire time. You saw the chances the Knicks had to come back in that game and to put the foot on the throat of the Spurs to go up 3-0. Uncle Steve, are the Knicks playing with fire now losing Game 3?
Yeah, they are. Shams Charania was in our suite. I had a couple minutes with him, and I said, "What do you think?" And he said, "I think it's a 7-game series." I said, "Do you mean before?" He goes, "No, right now. I still think it's a 7-game series. I think the Knicks. I don't, and that was just his point. Translating that, it's at some point a heater of this magnitude has got to probably end, like in a law of averages. That's 1. 2, the Spurs are good. 3, adjustments at some point going to be made, and then 4, I call it like the variable. And the variable last night, I'm not a pound the officials guy. I know you are, Mike, from coaching against you, but I'm not a pound the officials kind of guy. But the calls just didn't go the Knicks' way last night, however you want to say it, and. The reviews, the questionable calls, and it put Brunson in foul trouble all night, and most of the second half, and they just never had a rhythm. And whatever I kept making this point to those that were around me. Whatever the Spurs did differently, the almost like the not pointed out, the thing that you wouldn't maybe notice, but was an outcome. Karl Anthony Towns looked gassed a lot last night.
Yeah.
He just looked exhausted. And you hadn't seen that from him in the first 2 games. First 2 games looked like he could do anything he wanted. So the Spurs, while I would say they made poor in-game adjustments, Game 1 and 2, they did a much better job, adjusting in Game 3. And, of course, look, they had their backs against the wall. If they lose that game, the series is over. They're not winning 4 games in a row.
Uncle
So
Steve.
if they lose that game, we all know the series was over, and that's how they played. And they have, Castle. I mean, Castle is an unbelievable fox. They are loaded, and that's the scary thing. And I talked about this with Shams. He thinks they see this as a nucleus. It's only going to get better. Dylan Harper.
Yeah.
I mean, if De'Aaron Fox becomes your 4th option or 5th option in a couple of years, while all these guys are under contract and under control on their rookie deals, he is lethal.
Now, Steve, to that point, every player not named De'Aaron Fox, who's 28, the Champagnes, the Vassals, the Harpers, the Castles, the Wembanyamas, they're 25 and under. This is going to be a Spur team that's going to be together for a really long time. Off of that, Uncle Steve, and once again, we're talking to Uncle Steve Palazziner, the Good Karma Brands president and Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. Off of what I said about the young core, what would it say specifically about this team and Victor Wembanyama if they're able to do something no NBA team has ever been able to do, and that is come back from an 0-2 deficit that they lost both home games and would maybe be able to win the series. Steve, no one's done that. No one's lost 2 straight home games to begin a series and then win. What would that say about Wemby and this young team for the San Antonio Spurs?
You're jumping about 12 steps.
But Uncle Steve, hear me out. If they lose Game 4, Steve.
24 hours ago, they look cooked, right? So if they lose Game 4, then it's all even. Then it's best 2 out of 3, and you're right. The Spurs would have that, would have that advantage. That's why there is a bit of, I don't think pressure is the right word, but there is a bit of urgency that the Knicks have to take this next home game to give themselves that time, and maybe that sets up for wrapping it all up Game 6, because if you get to Game 7, anything can go. Mm-hmm. Anything can go. And if you get to a Game 7, you also know that the Knicks have stubbed their toe here a bit, and the Spurs could really have the momentum at that point.
Now, Steve, I originally said Spurs in 6. When the Knicks won, I updated that timeline and said it won't go past 6 in the Knicks way. I'm a firm believer in history telling the story. Like, listen, LeBron has come back down 0-2, Steve, but he didn't lose the first 2 at home. I can't believe what has transpired in this series. The famous saying is, a series doesn't start until a road team wins. Steve, I guess in the NBA Finals, a series doesn't start until a damn home team wins. What do you make of this parody?
Is this series ever going to start? I think it's awesome. I think it's so awesome. I was saying this. This is all good. All good. We're not sitting there talking about that one terrible call. We're not sitting there talking about this. We're not sitting there talking about big market versus small market. We're not sitting there talking about ending free agents with any of these teams. This is a moment. Even you, Riz, have to acknowledge as a guy that's had some problems with the NBA. This is as wholesome, as pure, as fun a matchup. You're watching an emerging talent in Wemby. You're watching overachievers by most people's analysis with the Knicks. Like it is all gravy. It is all good for the NBA. This is a dream setup right now.
I would agree, Steve, and I think they've hitched to the right wagon in Victor Wembanyama. Remember the face of the league? I mean, Steve, rewind 2 years ago when we were arguing about who the damn face of the league is, who's going to take the torch from LeBron, Michael, Kobe, Bron, who's next? Oh, he's got to be an American. Listen, I think Wembanyama's been that guy. We just haven't seen a healthy Victor Wembanyama. I think it's not a coincidence that when Vic is completely healthy, he is just an absolute alien of an athlete. Now, Uncle Steve, if he comes back, the story, I tried to spin it as, the Spurs team. It's not going to be that. The story is going to be Wemby led them from being down 0-2 and winning. Like you said, we got a long time to go. But it seems like that this series is going 7. And shame on me. I was very foolish sitting here yesterday going, this is over. No team has ever done this. This is one of those series, and the Spurs are one of those teams that are just completely weird, and you could get a different team night in and night out. If the Spurs come back from 0-2, Uncle Steve, do you think Wemby is going to already be immortalized as an all-time great?
I do, and I think we'll look really back at this. And first of all, you hope he stays healthy. I look at him, and I'm like, I really hope this isn't Ralph Sampson, someone who is just almost freakish, alienish in their size. And I hope it doesn't. Their body doesn't break down. Yao Ming, I think about guys like that. Or is he Giannis? Is somebody who is just transcended the game and even doing it in another way. Kevin Durant, freakish, but in another way. In their ability to last and to get up from the beating and the times. Those guys that are on the ground all the time, Ant Edwards is, D Wade, was known for it. I look at Wemby on the ground all the time. I'm like, oh my God, every time this guy falls, I'm like, they're taking days, months off his NBA career. It's like don't let him fall down. That's what I get nervous about. Now, I think long term, Wemby's got to move to 4. They need to have some real, they need to have some bruiser, bouncer types, the Kendrick Perkins types, that are going to be in there. Maybe there's parts of the game where Wemby plays 5, but he can't defensively have to be banging against these 5s all the time. And I think that'll be a big part of the future. So meaning you look back and they may, if they had a big piece, because they don't need any more wings and swings. They got plenty of that. You imagine if they add a piece.
Oh God, Steve.
How different that could be.
Yeah. And even both teams. I think Spurs and the Knicks. I think the Knicks have proved a lot. Even God forbid, for all the New Yorker fans that are listening, we got a lot here. God forbid they blow the series. But if they add a piece, they're going to be completely better next year. And I think in a weak Eastern Conference, they're probably going to be the team to beat maybe for a couple of years. Now, once again, Uncle Steve Politziner, the Good Karma Brands president and the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer, joining us on Russo and Rizzo. Now, I wanted to update you on a situation, Uncle Steve. We have a great caller, Ernie in West Palm. Ernie called in yesterday when the Knicks were up 2-0. And Ernie said, Riz, if the Knicks lose this series, I will camp out on the Okeechobee Bridge. Steve, do you think Ernesto in West Palm Beach, I guess I'm asking for your updated series, but do you think Ernie, our great listener and local caller, is going to have to sleep in a tent on the Okeechobee Bridge for a week?
No, and I wouldn't want Ernie to do that. That feels very unsafe. I feel like there's a lot that Ernie, if you lose this bet, can we move this to maybe a more grassy, non-highway situation?
Not on the side of the Ernie, Okeechobee Bridge.
No, maybe one of the wonderful perks we have. I don't know if you're allowed to sleep in them. I'm not advocating that.
Yeah.
But I'm sure there's camp out areas. Let's move it over to there, Ernie. You don't have to put yourself in harm's way to that level.
I told him I think we need to get a.
No, I think the Knicks probably built themselves enough of a lead.
Okay.
Now, and with the Knicks still having, 2 more home games, and we know they can win on the road. I think the Knicks obviously still have the advantage.
I think
in 6.
I think
where I'm at.
Steve, I think we need some kind of permit if Ernie was going to be sleeping on the Okeechobee Bridge. But regardless, I'll leave that to Ernesto, who hopefully isn't going to have to do that. And I hope his Knicks can win for his sake. Now, Uncle Steve, you were at the game. There are stories and videos of Knicks fans fighting Spurs fans. Did you see any of that nonsense before, after, or during the game? Wembanyama talked about it after the game, but did you see any of the fights that apparently happened in Madison?
No, I didn't. I saw a lot of, like you would outside any game, kind of, drunkenness, but drunken tomfoolery. But because actually of all of the safety regards, because the president being there, it was a very different, post-game, type of experience. And the Knicks lost, which they hadn't in weeks. I didn't see it. There's no place for it. No fans should ever feel like they can't go to a game because they feel unsafe. But fans also should, monitor their intake.
Yeah.
I always wonder that. Why do you get so obliterated a game that you can't even remember the game that you paid to go to?
Steve, listen, from someone who's been through their trials or tribulations with drinking, I will be probably 5 years sober coming up in July. But Steve, Browns games, dog pound partner. I don't really have a high ground to stand on when it comes to this. But listen, looking back on it now, I completely understand, especially a game like, Steve, the NBA Finals. You think that a game, something that hasn't happened since 1973. I mean, a lot of these Knicks fans weren't even born in 1973. So you think that they'd be able to hold their alcohol and maybe to hold their liquor a little bit. Now, once again, Uncle Steve Politziner, the Good Karma Brands president and the Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer, joining us now. Now, Uncle Steve, I just got back from L.A. I took a little time off. Colin Russo is in the Norwegian hills, dancing in every hostel club. I didn't even know that was a thing, by the way. Apparently, hostels have clubs. Colin got caught on video dancing. Now, it was great. He's got moves. But long story short, part I wanted to ask: Are you and the family going to be going on a vacation here anytime soon?
I had no idea what your question was going to be, given that extremely long way of getting there first.
I just wanted to. I wanted you to hear it. I wanted you. Yeah, I wanted you to hear the news of Colin dancing.
Yeah, great. One at a time. One, I saw your trip. First, congrats on the 5 years coming up.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Proud of you. Two, saw pictures of your trip. Looked like you were, lounging by the pool in L.A. in the hills at 10 a.m. with a cigar. You looked like a happy man. Colin dancing at hostel clubs should not surprise anyone, consuming this show right now. Everyone knows Colin is his own person. He loves doing the hostels. He loves doing the solo travel. God bless him for that. I wouldn't do it, but, he's a braver man than me. Summer vacation, just visiting some friends, watching some kids sports, watch my son Drew's golf tournaments.
Nice.
Around traveling some different places like that, including Pinehurst, North Carolina. Taking in, but I also think I'm going to make an underrated public service announcement for a great place in the summer. It's called Palm Beach County. Because when a lot of people leave and things get a little calmer, you can get into your favorite restaurant.
Yep.
There's a lot less traffic. It's also becomes a very, very, to me, an awesome environment to experience things that in season, in the rat race, sometimes become a little bit more challenging to do.
Now, Uncle Steve, you're a Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. I'll tell you what, it's been a big sports week here in Palm Beach County. I covered the England training today. I will be covering the Portugal training coming up this Saturday. We're hosting all of these teams that are getting ready for the World Cup. Uncle Steve, are you going to be getting into the World Cup this summer? You're going to be watching?
Not like to your level, but I'll be throwing it on. How can you not? An event of this magnitude, right? It's like if you're a sports fan, it's going to captivate. It's going to absolutely captivate the world. In fact, I was actually kind of boning up on some of the rules, changes and the rules clarifications from offsides to these hydration breaks, to the yellow card rules. It's going to be really interesting. I'm fascinated by that the yellow card resets each round. So like if you're in the last round and you don't have, or you're in the beginning of your that round and you don't run the risk of getting tossed, you can just get. I think it's be wildly physical, I guess is what I'm getting at. And I would lean on you more, you and Elias, who know the beautiful game so much better than I. But I feel like it's going to be wildly physical this summer.
Now, Uncle Steve, you're talking about card accumulation, and if you reach a certain number, you miss the game. We've seen it with our Inter Miami Herons this year.
But it resets.
Yes.
But it resets.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
Which is like, to me, that's a free pass to go, particularly if in your last game of that grouping.
Yeah, it's Steve. I'm telling you, the novice fans like you, this is how I get you guys into soccer. Now, Uncle Steve, you've seen a ton of World Cups. I hope that one would rub off on you. But certainly this one being in the U.S., I hope a little of the world football bug hops on you, and we could pick you a Premier League team, and we could really, get you behind our hometown Inter Miami Herons and Lionel Messi.
All right. Let's do it. I love hearing you on the call.
Now, Uncle Steve, you're going to learn some things about the World Cup, too, on this very station. From 6 to 7, myself and Damian Perez will be hosting a show called Extra Time, where we're breaking down the World Cup, all the happenings in the tournament. So make sure you turn on that and you're driving around Palm Beach County. But, Uncle Steve, first off, or rather, last thing, I'm hungry, Uncle Steve. I'll tell you what, I'm looking around here at the office. I'm opening up the fridge. I'm opening up the cupboards. I don't have any food left here. When I leave the beautiful City Place Studios in downtown West Palm Beach, where am I going to go to get my hunger fix?
Great call, Michael. because you should go to Duffy Sports Grill, where they have the new Power Play, the juicy made-to-order burger stacked high, the crispy chicken tenders that actually crunch the wing sauce in your favorite sauce. The loaded sandwiches, wraps, all packed with flavor and big enough to actually fill you up. This is the great thing about the Duffy's Power Play menu. It's not small portions or light options. This is legit Duffy's food, but at a even more so legit price, including your entree, side, and a drink for just $13.99. Now through June 21, when you buy $50 in any combo of Duffy's MVP gift cards, you'll score a $10 bonus on your MVP account starting June 22. Duffy's, our game is always on. I actually was at the Duffy's on PGA and US 1 just last week. Enjoyed an incredible lunch, awesome service. Had just another great Duffy's experience, and I highly encourage everyone to do that as well.
Well, you know the Mike Rizzo go-to is you get the buffalo sandwich, but you substitute the sauce for the honey garlic. Thank me later, folks. Thank me later. Uncle Steve, thanks so much, partner. We'll catch up with you next week, and thanks for joining.
You got it, guys. Thank you.
That's Uncle Steve Pollitziner, the Good Karma Brands president and Palm Beach Sports Commission Hall of Famer. All right, when we come back, Elias will hit me with a 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union, where we go through 5 of the top sports stories going on. And we'll continue to break down the NBA Finals on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
I'm Ellie Anajar of Anajar & Levine. Injured in a car crash? Never rush to settle with insurance companies, and never settle for just any attorney. Demand Anajar & Levine. Our experienced legal team will fight to win you the maximum compensation you deserve. Call me, Ellie Anajar, for a free consultation and take back control of your life. Call 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, West Palm Beach.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
I just got another NBA offer from Hard Rock Bet.
A Hard Rock Bet promo at the Hard Rock Bet Party? That is so meta.
That's not meta. That's Meta World Peace. Meta. Tell them about Hard Rock Bet.
Hard Rock Bet has it all. Live odds for every NBA game, every player prop, same game parlays, you name it. It's the only place I play these days.
Okay, now that is meta.
Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE. Want to accelerate your career as a manager or executive in the exciting industry of sports? Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program is ranked #1 in Florida and 10th in the world. Students learn practical and applied skills from top faculty and experts who work in the industry. With a 94% placement rate for all grads, the full-time MBA program sets students up for success in the world of sports. Check out Florida Atlantic University's MBA in Sport Management program today by going to business.fau.edu.
For over 30 years, Team IP has been the #1 souvenir merchandiser in the U.S., proudly powering over 2,800 events and 24 bowl games every year, including ESPN events, and the Boca Raton Bowl right here in South Florida. From custom apparel to branded promo gear, Team IP brings your event to life, on-site and online. Want to boost your brand? Visit teamip.com and make Team IP your team today. Team IP. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Today's tax tip is brought to you by Anshin Accountants and Advisors with Kevin McHale, tax partner in Anshin's Real Estate Group.
Under the One Big Beautiful Bill Act, recent changes to the Opportunity Zone program include a rolling capital gains deferral period, updated basis step-up, and tax-free appreciation rules, new categories of qualifying funds, and revised criteria for the census tracts that qualify as Opportunity Zones. At Anshin, a partner-owned firm since 1923, we help real estate professionals navigate through the new Qualified Opportunity Zone rules so their investments align with their goals of maximizing deferrals, minimizing capital gains, and ensuring compliance with the updated legislation. If you're launching a new fund or restructuring existing investments, let Anshin strategically guide you through these changes and deliver value where others can't.
For more tax tips from Anshin, visit Anshin.com. That's ANCHIN.com. Anshin Accountants and Advisors, helping you recalculate what's possible.
Ready to take on any terrain? The all-new 2026 Defender 110 P300S is here. Built for those who crave adventure without compromising on luxury. Lease the powerful 2026 Defender 110 P300S for just $879 per month for 36 months. Whether you're tackling the toughest roads or cruising the city, the Defender is ready for it all. Don't wait. Visit Land Rover Palm Beach today and experience the Defender like never before. Terms and conditions apply. See dealer for details.
Mega Bash at Roger Dean Chevrolet Stadium is the biggest 4th of July party in Jupiter. There's no better way to celebrate America's 250th birthday than enjoying 2 special baseball games on July 3rd and July 4th. Both games begin at 6 p.m., featuring the Mega Kids Inflatable Area and the biggest fireworks show of the season. Tickets start at just $8. Stop by the ticket office or visit RogerDeanChevroletStadium.com to purchase your Mega Bash tickets today.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Mike Rizzo and Elias Bustamante. This is Russo and Rizzo today on ESPN 106.3. Our partner, Colin Russo, gallivanting Norway, stopping at every single hostel club, dancing at every single hostel club. Now, we are going to hit the 5 at 5 in just a second, presented by our great friends at Flagler Credit Union. But I wanted to talk to Elias Bustamante. First off, Elias, hi. Welcome on into hour number 2. How are you?
I'm good, and you?
Good. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot, something you hate that I do. But do we have the video of Colin Russo dancing still? We do not. For those of you that don't know, Colin got listen, I don't know who recorded him, if it was an individual, if it was the actual hostile nightclub. I had no idea hostile nightclubs were even a thing. Is there a thing, Elias?
I don't know.
There was this account on Instagram that has Colin, and then listen, these kids got moves, man. I'm going to tell him to dance in studio when he comes back. But, yeah, we miss our guy. We're going to get him back. I think that, the trophies are probably going to be hoisted on the NHL and the NBA side. You hope the NBA can go 7. I'm not schedule guy. I do not know. I don't have the answer when Game 7 would be, if Kyle would be back for that or not. But regardless, I hope our guys having fun out there in Norway. Now, Elias, it is time, though, to hit the 5 at 5, presented by Flagler Credit Union. We can do magic.
5 topics.
High 5.
5 o'clock.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere. Let's get out of here.
Endless takes.
You can't handle the truth.
All gas, no brakes.
And it's shaking big time.
It's time for the 5 at 5.
Hold on to your butts.
Presented by Flagler Credit Union, proud supporter of FAU Athletics. Number 1.
What's number 1 over there, partner?
Perfect. So Time Magazine is naming the 100 most influential people in sports in 2026. Who has to be on the list?
Time Magazine.
Yes.
Top 100 people.
Yes.
In sports.
Yes.
Now,
2026.
Just sports, or is it like at everybody in the world?
Nope. It says people in sports in 2026.
Okay. Well, people in sports in 2026. I mean, sadly, it's going to have to be Fernando Mendoza, and that's Signetti.
Okay.
I think that with the championship that they had last, I guess in 2025. Now, I wonder, I'm sorry, I'm at your mercy here. I don't know the list. I don't read Times Magazine. I'm assuming it's based off of their accomplishments from 2025. Is that safe to assume?
Probably, yes.
Okay. All right. So with that said, on the NFL side of things, probably Jackson Smith and Jigba, probably Sam Darnold. NBA, if we're going off of last year's championship, Gilgeous Alexander. So we've covered college football. We've covered NBA. I mean, MLB, Shohei Ohtani. Honest to God.
Messi?
Absolutely. I mean,
I have the list here.
I think Miguel Rojas should be on it. Listen, that was the most important home run in baseball, I think, in the last 35 years of the sport, going back to, the Dodgers of the 80s. But, yeah, give me the list. Now, gosh, Elias, world football players. I mean, it's not Mbappe. I think Lamine Yamal should be on there.
I mean,
I think that.
Well, you have to be there, right? You have to be like an important sports
Like I guess
to
what
shape the world, you know.
What I am saying, I am basing mine more off of winning. Does that make sense?
I think
it's not necessarily that.
Probably the influence too.
All right, let's give me the damn list. I'm a disgrace.
LeBron James.
Right
LeBron James
okay,
is also
right.
that cover.
All right, so it's okay.
Hillary Knight, Lionel Messi, Eileen Yu, Roger Goodell. What?
Roger Goodell. Keep going.
Okay. Yannick Sinner, tennis,
yep.
of course.
Colin's guy.
Also, Lando Norris, F1. Shohei Ohtani, you were right on that one.
Okay.
Carlos Alcaraz,
yep, tennis.
Player, of course. I'm going to butcher this name.
You're fine.
AJ Wilson.
AJ Wilson. Soccer player.
No.
World football player. Basketball. I'm thinking of Sophia Wilson? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Caitlin Clark,
okay.
Saquon Barkley.
All right, so you're good. It's nonetheless culturally and okay. I was thinking more along the lines of winners, losers, Super Bowl winners, national championship winners. You know, God, that was Elias. You're gonna have to forgive. That was really ugly.
Number 2.
Wow.
Hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. The future of Baker Mayfield in Tampa continues to be debated, with Baker reportedly looking for $65 million a year. Would you pay Baker that?
I wouldn't. And Bake, if you're listening, I love you, brother. I'm a Baker bro. I love Baker Mayfield, but $65 million, probably not, dude. Probably not. I think Baker is a floor raiser. We saw Sam Darnold win a Super Bowl. So I can't sit here and say he'll never win a Super Bowl. I've really changed my tune off of that. But God, $65 million a year, Elias, that's up there with the best of the best.
100%.
I mean, that's 100%. Up there. That's up there with the Burrows and the Allens and the Staffords. And I understand wanting to get paid. I personally, Elias, think that this is just a negotiation, a plot, a ploy to get more money. But no, to answer the question, I wouldn't pay Bake $65 million. I love Bake. I wish things would have ended better in Cleveland. And, I know that.
No one's thinking about Ohio State. No one cares.
I know no one cares about my Ohio teams, but realistically, Baker left on ugly terms in Cleveland. We condemned him to hell. And then, now looking back on it, it was immature, I think, on both sides. But no, Bake, I love you. I wouldn't give you $65 million, brother. Meet them in the middle somewhere. Maybe like 50, 55, 48.
Well, why wouldn't you give it the 65?
It's too much. Yeah, you got to build a team, man. Like look at the Buffalo Bills right now. They're in a cap situation that's nearly impossible to do because they're paying Josh Allen. Now you're paying Josh Allen. You're paying Joe Burrow, but what I'm saying is they're in cap hell now. They're in cap hell. You could look like the Seahawks, Elias. It was a team-friendly deal for Sam Darnold. Look at the team they were able to construct. They didn't need the flashy quarterback throwing 350, 400 yards. The NFL is different now. Growing up when we were kids, Elias, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Eli Manning. Even, I know he never won, Phillip Rivers. Drew Brees won. The flashy franchise quarterback was the reason you were winning games. They were on great teams. Don't get it misconstrued. But we have now seen Jalen Hurts and Sam Darnold hoist Super Bowl trophies in back-to-back years. They're good quarterbacks, but they're not Hall of Famers. They're not Brady and Manning breaking every record in the damn book. Drew Brees breaking passing records. No. Bake, love you. You're not getting 65.
Number 3.
The Stanley Cup Finals back on the ice tonight. Had the first 3 games done enough to draw you in?
Oh, dude, my LA family, they're huge hockey fans. Huge hockey fans. And, I was joking around with them. I said, oh, God, you guys are making me watch, you guys are making me watch the hockey. Dude, that game 3, when Carolina scored 3 goals in 40 seconds, I couldn't keep my eyes off it. To the point I made us listen to it on the way to the club, to Bar Lease in Hollywood. And then I had the Bar Lease throw it on in Hollywood because I had to see the ending. So, yeah, I'm into the hockey. I'll have it on tonight in the background while I'm playing Crimson Desert.
Oh, my God, man.
Dude, Crimson Desert must get video game if you love RPGs and third, like open map, ton of things to do, crafting, building, swords, shields, magic, arrows. It's like Skyrim on steroids.
I've never had the patience for that. I don't know why.
Now, my partner, Damian Perez, who I'm going to be hosting Extra Time with, love you, Dame, he got me onto the game, and I can't put it down.
Tomorrow, right?
Yeah. The Extra Time starts tomorrow, 6 to 7, and we're going to be having a fun little Friday show, too. We'll have more information for you later on in the week. But we're going to have a fun little Friday show as well that's actually going to go 2 hours leading into the United States men's national team game. But, yeah, Dame has got me hooked on a video game, and I have a brand-new $3,500 PC. And
Number 4.
And yeah, I'm playing it on that. Very busy.
Another great game of the NBA Finals last night with the Spurs getting their first win of the series. Knicks head coach Mike Brown not happy with officials. How much did the ref impact Game 3? I have the clip.
Go ahead. Play the clip, Elias. This is head coach Mike Brown complaining about the lack, in his mind, fairness of free throw attempts, specifically in the second half.
First of all, I want to make sure I get something clear. Coach Mitch Johnson, Spurs, they won the game tonight. They came and took the game. But I will say this: I never thought I'd be in the NBA Finals and see a team get 24 free throw attempts in the second half to another team's 8. And I don't think I complain much about officials or the fairness when it comes to free throw attempts. San Antonio is a great team. They're a great team. Okay. It's going to lower our odds big time. If we play game 4 and in the second half they get 24 free throw attempts to our 8. And maybe we were fouling. But they fouled too.
That's Knicks head coach Mike Brown complaining about the lack of foul calls for the Knicks in the second half. 24 free throws for San Antonio compared to 8 for the Knicks. We'll say this quickly. Mike Brown's not one to complain, so to hear him say that is actually fascinating. Man, that's what happens when you win 13 games in a row. God, losing sucks.
Number 5.
All right. The Knicks now lead the series 2-1. Which team should feel more confident heading into Game 4?
Dude, I said yesterday it's over. No team can come back down from 0-2, losing both games at home. And then I watch Game 3 and I sit there and go, oh, God, the Knicks are playing with fire, man. Didn't it seem that way last night watching that basketball game? That was such a winnable game for the Knicks. And now the Spurs have a lot of momentum. They got confidence. Wemby has his swagger back. I was through and through Knicks winning that game last night. Bet on them with our good friends at Hard Rock Bet. Lost some credits. I've been dead wrong about the series from the start. I said I said Spurs in 6. Was wrong about that so far. Rather, the Knicks jump out to an early 2-0 lead. I'm like, okay, update. This thing's not going past 5, right? Or rather, this thing's not going past 6 because the Knicks are going to not lose 2 games at home. Now I'm sitting here going, okay, there's a chance that a home team won't get a win until later on in the series. I'm done predicting this series. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to let it play out. I do think, though, the Knicks are playing with fire, and I think they better be careful. If they lose Game 4, I mean, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to tell you they are in some serious trouble. And that was the 5 at 5 presented by Flagler Credit Union. Folks, I got to take our final timeout. When we return, Elias and I will continue to break things down in the sports world on ESPN 106.3.
Live from the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747-FREE. This is ESPN 106.3.
Need an extra boost? With Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union, you can earn up to $700 each year with a 7.0% annual percentage yield on balances up to $10,000. That's real money for real moments, like a family getaway or treating yourself to something special. Boost Checking from Flagler Credit Union. Requirements apply to earn the highest dividend rates. Limit one checking account per membership. Dividend rates and annual percentage yield subject to change. Business accounts do not qualify. Insured by NCUA, official credit union of Florida Atlantic Athletics.
Ford is here for those who build America. Those who believe that giving everything we've got today will pay off tomorrow. Who will drive America forward for 250 years to come. If that's who you are, you value what we value. Now offering employee pricing. American value for American values. Go to Ford.com or your local Ford dealer for more information.
Breaking news on ESPN 106.3 is brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
This just in. We begin this hour with breaking news.
When news breaks, ESPN 106.3 has it covered.
We've had developments. ESPN 106.3 can now report.
When your vehicle breaks, St. Lucie Battery and Tire fixes it. Stay tuned to ESPN 106.3 for more breaking news. Brought to you by St. Lucie Battery and Tire.
Tired of being sidelined by a sports injury? Get back in the game with Baptist Health Orthopedic Care. Whether you're a professional athlete or even a weekend warrior, you can get back to doing what you love with our compassionate orthopedic team. Experience a new level of care and get back to your best. Welcome to being treated like a pro. Make an appointment today at baptisthealth.net/ortho or call 833-556-6764.
Let's get back to the Anajar and Levine Accident Attorney Studios. This is Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3.
Looking for the best pizza in Palm Beach County? Look no further than Adrian's. You want to go to the best spot in Palm Beach County, in West Palm, to catch the big game? You guessed it, Adrian's Pizza Bar. It's right here at City Place in West Palm Beach. They have handcrafted cocktails and the Adrian's world-famous original square pizza that is straight from Stone Street, Manhattan. You can go from game day gatherings to late-night bites. Go check it out because it's the place that everyone's talking about. They got happy hours. They got a full-service bar. They also have the best pizza in town. Open daily from 11:30 a.m. To midnight. Go check them out on a weekend. Go check them out on a weekday. Go check them out for lunch. Go check them out for dinner. Go check them out for an NBA final game, for an NHL Stanley Cup final game. They have it all. It is Adrian's Pizza Bar at City Place, bringing the legendary flavors of Stone Street, Manhattan, right here to West Palm Beach. Look no further if you're looking for a great pizza spot, a great date spot, or a great big game spot. That's Adrian's Pizza Bar at City Place.
Welcome on back to Russo and Rizzo on ESPN 106.3. And folks, if you go to Adrian's, you got to get their square pizza. You're going to thank me later. Now, Elias, you know me, right?
No one's thinking about Ohio State. No one cares.
I got an article from Adam Rittenberg, who Colin Russo actually recently spoke to on our online content. You could go to ESPN South Florida on YouTube to check out Colin's interview with Adam Rittenberg. Mm-hmm. But he came out with an article called College Football Future Power Rankings through 2027. So this is this year and the next. He ranks 68 teams. He starts from 68, and he works his way down all the way to number 1. All right, you and I, we're going to go from number 1, and we're going to try to find a Florida team, okay? So number 1 is Notre Dame, which, okay. I'm going to disagree with Adam Rittenberg. I think they're in the top 5. Notre Dame is in number 1. Elias, any guess who number 2 is?
I have no idea. Ohio State.
No one's thinking about Ohio State. No one cares.
Number 3, the Texas Longhorns. Once again, this is an article from Adam Rittenberg on ESPN College Football Future Power Rankings through 2027. It's projecting a college football program's future through 2027. The assets that make a program great in 2026 might not be there in 2027. And Adam Rittenberg says he has ranked the teams who are the most promising. So once again, number 1, Notre Dame. Number 2,
no one's thinking about Ohio State. No one cares.
We are. Oh, I am excited, but at least that's a joke of the show. Is no one cares that I'm in Ohio State.
So Ohio State is a meme team.
Brother, it is the team for me.
It's a joke team. Oh, okay.
It's my favorite team on the planet. I went there. OH. Texas number 3. Okay. Oregon number 4. Georgia number 5. We still haven't gotten to a Florida team, but look no further than number 6. Miami checking in at number 6 on this list. They're the first Florida team to check in. Adam ranks their quarterback situation, offensive line, roster management, star power, and coaching staff. Let's quickly go on the coaching staff. It says Cristobal retained the core of the staff that propelled Miami to a national championship game, including the Broyles award-winning Corey Heatherman, or rather finalist, I'm at your mercy, at defensive coordinator. Offensive coordinator Shannon Dawson. So all the coaches are coming back. They lost 2 assistants to the NFL, so they are in a good boat there. All right, so Miami is the first Florida team at 6. Elias, I want to see how far I have to go to find another Florida team. Now, keep in mind, this is power rankings for basically the next 2 years.
Okay.
A 6 spot is really good for Miami. 7, Indiana. 8, LSU. 9, Texas A&M. 10, Alabama. 9, Texas Tech. 12, Ole Miss. 13, no. 14, 15. Elias, 16, no. Michigan, by the way, checking in the team up north. I mean, I'm at, 20 checking on in are the Florida Gators. New head coach John Sumrall. They're going to have a ton of big quarterback competition. I mean, who knows who the hell is going to be the quarterback there in Florida? But Florida checking in at number 20. I mean, is Florida State even one of the 68 teams?
I don't think so.
I mean, listen, Norvell has ran that program into the ground. Once again, I'm looking for Florida teams in Adam Rittenberg's updated power rankings, the 2026 and 2027. He's taking both years into account. Miami of Florida checked in at number 6, and the Florida Gators checked in at 20. I'm at 36, 37.
I got it for you. I have
38.
it for you.
Where are they at, Elias?
50.
Oy vey. Oy vey. What happened to Florida State football? 50? This team won a title in 2013. Quarterback situation. Florida State has been a portal-based quarterback operation under Mike Norvell, which will continue in 2026 with Ashton Daniels. Hang on, Elias. I am a big college football watcher. Brother, I have no idea who the hell Ashton Daniels is. Okay. He played at Auburn last year. Oh, I do remember this kid. He started a couple of games, 797 yards, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. He's, played at Stanford for 2 years before that. Man, is Florida State down bad. That's their quarterback?
That's bad.
A kid who, based for all intents and purposes, flunked out of Stanford, wasn't good enough to be the quarterback there, was the backup at Auburn, and now Norvell is hitching his wagon to Ashton Daniels? That's rough, dude. Roster management. Significant roster turnover remains a theme in Tallahassee, as Florida State lost most of its primary starters to graduation or the portal. Where safeties, Earl Little Jr. went to Ohio State.
No one's thinking about Ohio State.
Edwin Joseph, tight end, went to Ole Miss. Randy Pittman Jr., SMU. I sit here every show and subconsciously think, what the hell happened to Florida State? Folks, you hear that music, that means it's time for us to go. Sometimes friends have to go away, but a part of them stays with us forever. Remember that in this life. We'll catch up with you tomorrow. Riz and Elias on ESPN 106.3.
Being a homeowner like me means knowing who to call. For power, you called an electrician. Pipes?